One of the major features for Need for Speed Underground 2 is the open world environment that the player will race through. The open world environment really plays into the design of the game. In fact, it's integral to the design of the game. Each environment creates a different challenge for the player in terms of the type of racing that they'll encounter. Underground 1 took place completely in one central city environment. The tracks were very short, very angular, and very technical in nature. This year, we tried to give the player a much wider variety of race experiences. The open world environment really creates a lot of things for the player to be able to do. If they drive up into the upper hills area, they'll experience a more traditional Need for Speed style of racing with lots of hills and winding roads. What makes this different than the first Need for Speed Underground is that this world is completely open to the player. They can drive anywhere they want inside the world. To give you a sense of scale, Need for Speed Underground 1 had about 40 kilometers worth of track. In Underground 2, we've got over 200 kilometers of total track the player can drive around in. So the world is quite a bit bigger. The other thing that makes it unique is that you can drive anywhere at any time throughout the world. What this creates is an experience for the player where they have to explore and find events inside the world. Not everything is handed to them, so the player who explores inside the world is going to benefit from the player who doesn't. The world is divided into 5 different areas. Each area is very unique, not only in its visual makeup, but in the types of drives that you experience in there. For example, the Jackson Heights area takes place up in the hillsides, and the drives up there are more wide open and longer, more reminiscent of traditional Need for Speed style games. In the downtown core, the tracks are smaller and more technical in nature, similar to what you would have experienced in the first Underground game. The entire city itself is also ringed by an extensive freeway system, so the player can get from anywhere to anywhere else very quickly and very easily. The Beacon Hill area is more of a combination of the Jackson Heights and the downtown core. The races that the player experiences in there are more of a hybrid, some short and technical, some more wide open, and a combination of the two. Visually, the Beacon Hill area resembles more of Rodeo Drive and the higher-end shopping districts of LA, combining the best of the Jackson Heights hilly, wide-open tracks with the downtown core technical short tracks. And that's really one of the things that we wanted to do to the player this year in Underground 2, is challenge them to have a wider range of driving styles. The Cole Harbor area is more of an industrial setting, with the visuals consisting of shipyards, docks, factories, and warehouses. The last location, which isn't really a separate area, is the freeway and airport sections. These are the most wide open and fast-paced drives in the entire game. The freeway rings the entire city and allows the player to get from one area to another very quickly, but also creates some of the fastest and most exhilarating drives in the game. When you've tuned your car to the top, take it on the freeway and really let it loose.